Hello, guys. Stand by for a quick intro. Welcome back to another episode of the Strongman Winner Circle podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Canby, and this is episode 80 with fellow paisan Nicholas Guadione of the USA. Nicholas won his pro card at Strongman Corporation Nationals last year, taking second, and followed up that performance with a win at the Arnold Amateur Championships. He's looking to redeem his second place at the Shaw Classic with a win at the official Strongman Games. So Nick Guadione is one of my favorites for the open class at OSG, but he's competing against 4 former World's Strongest Man competitors. So does he have what it takes to take on the best up-and-comers in the world? Let's find out in today's episode of the Strongman Winner Circle podcast with Nicholas Guadione. Today's episode is sponsored by TsunamiBarSports.com, and the Canby shirts are now available at oddobjects.co, the link in the description. And consider being a member to get access to exclusive videos and support all things Canby Dude. And without further ado, here is Nicholas Guadione, or Guardione, like what they say in Italy. But yeah, here he is. Hey. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me, man. You're doing me dirty with all these pictures, bro.
Well, those are your like, I don't know. I thought the one that was pretty epic. I guess you didn't like that too much.
No, it's just funny. I'm not mad at all. It's just hilarious. And you got the spinning Denny Stone video in there too. I love that.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny because we never thought when me and James first did, because I was there for that training. It was right after a seminar.
Yeah.
We never thought anybody else would pick up on it, and you did. So we were of course pleased to see it. But it's funny. You've been on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, quite a few actually now.
Yeah, it's just all good practice before
exactly
you go on Rogan.
That's right.
So it's gonna be pretty exciting. But you've had a little bit of a break, so a little break since the Shaw Open, and recently you got married. So congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
But how are you feeling after the Shaw Open? I know, of course, you were gunning for another big amateur world title win. But did that kind of lit a little fire for you going into the official Strongman Games?
Oh yeah. It's never easy losing, and it's never easy losing by like a little bit, but it's just too many mistakes. So that's kind of been our whole mantra going into this prep, is just train clean, compete clean, and have the ability to put down the work that we've achieved on the competition floor without mistakes taking points away for no reason,
Absolutely.
So.
So did you take much time off in terms of like heavy lifting after the Open, or did you get right back into it?
Well, the past couple months for like in training have just kind of been all over the place. Like right after the Shaw, like we went to Vegas for Austin's Giants live show, and then I went up to Cerberus to shoot a bunch of content with them, and then I got married. So it's just been like a busy season, like just a busy prep. Like we're just kind of like, this is kind of the first time when I haven't been able to just 100% focus on training, and it's been kind of eye-opening, but we're getting used to it, man. And this last month of prep before OSG is going really, really good. So
awesome. Well, I've noticed it's gone pretty well, because I feel like when most of us are feeling good, we pick on our friends, and you picked on Austin recently, coming off the glute hamstring. Maybe he needs like a stairs or something.
Yeah, he does. And it's funny too, because the first dismount was even more graceful than that. Like that was his cleaned up version. The first one, he like went straight down and did like a front flip barrel roll, and it was just the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I waited there for 5 minutes with my phone just so I could get that video. And I love that kind of thing. It's just hilarious.
It's I could watch that kind of stuff all day.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So how are we feeling so OSG? This is your second time, correct?
Second time. Yep, I did my first one in 2022 whenever they had the hurricane, and that show didn't go super well for me. Like I was still pretty new. I don't think I'd even got my pro card yet, and I still took 15th. Like that's when, like that was before I had even made, half the progress that I'd made on my deadlift. So I think it was like 720 or something for reps on an axle, and I got maybe 4 reps, and it wasn't enough. Even though I did okay in the farmers, and I did top 5, I think, in the sandbag to shoulder, and then top 15 or 20 in the Vikings press. It wasn't enough to get to the finals, but it was close. and that was encouraging. And then that kind of lit the fire of like, hey, I can kind of hang with these guys on some events. I just need to focus on my weaknesses and double down. And it was a good confidence booster. And like same thing with the Shaw, where it's just like, it's close, but there's things to improve. Let's get back to work and let's fix them and then bring a better package. And then that was kind of the last show where in 2022 where I wasn't in like the top 5. So like everything since then, it's been nationals has been top 3, Arnold's won, Shaw Classic top 3. So we've been on a pretty good tear since then. And it's been a hell of a ride, man.
It's funny. I went to take a look at your strongman archives, and I saw that you, Austin, and Lucas Haddon were all doing Beer Stone in 2022, and it looks like you beat Haddon at that show.
We did, yeah, we both did. He, to be fair, it was not. It wasn't a good show for him. Like we haven't talked about it, like because he's had such a meteoric rise since then. I think even faster and more aggressive than even Austin and I's sort of progression. But you could tell even then, like he expected to perform better than he did. And like we expected him to perform better than he did, but it's like, it's one of those things where like, yeah, now he's the 3rd strongest man on earth. We beat him 2 years ago, and any boo-boo, like you can't take that away from us. So, but we'll bring it back and be challenging him for spots like that again soon.
Absolutely. I think you guys are going to all be in a contest all together again.
I hope so.
But quick question by Mr. Brad, this is one of my buddies. Name a Viking that's more Viking than Nick. You get reached out by any Viking brands?
I do. Yeah. I had a company reach out to me. Oh God, I should not even say this. I had a company reach out to me a few years ago, or honestly around the same time as OSG in 2022. And they like made me take like these headshots with like my hair like down and braided and like with like some axes and some furs and stuff. It's pretty embarrassing. I still have those on my phone. I'm not going to share them because it's real bad.
So maybe like a northern Italian Viking is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're Sicilian, man. I know I'm like fair. I know we're like fair skinned, but I think it's my like Northern European mom side, because I got a lot of my mom's features, but that Italian blood runs deep.
All right, so let's dive into the Italian thing, because I'm half like I'm half Florentine, half Southern Italian. So you're half Northern Italian, half Sicilian.
Yeah, right? So we're Florentine as well with Sicilian. Like if you Google the name Guardione, which in Italian is Guardione, there's actually I think it was my great
Guardione.
Guardione.
I'll know that if I'm ever announcing it.
But like if you Google my last name and put it into like Google Maps in Italy, there's a whole piazza from I guess my great grandfather in Sicily. He was a lawyer. He was like a pretty prominent lawyer in Sicily, and there's a whole street, Via Francesco Guardione, right up the middle of a city in Sicily.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been back?
Since I was in high school.
All right,
it's been a long time. Yeah, we used to go every single summer. My dad, like he tried to, because he and my grandfather came over from Italy in the 70s, and they started business down in Houston, and he tried to kind of teach me Italian and keep me engaged with our family history and the culture and stuff. And so basically every single summer when we had more than just like a week off, we would go and stay with all my family in Italy, just outside of Florence.
Oh,
We've got a little vineyard.
Oh, excellent. Well, of course, that's right in my parts.
Yep.
But we'll have to get you over there. I know Jerry would love that.
I would love to as well.
No better reason to do your passion. Have you gone on any honeymoon yet?
I have not. So yeah, that's the plan, is to go back over there. So originally, before I knew if I was doing OSG or not, I was going to try and do the Magnus Ver and schedule that with my honeymoon. So like I'd be traveling through Iceland right as the Magnus Ver was happening. And that kind of fell through because I just kind of want to focus on OSG, and like being so busy the past couple months, I just wanted to focus. So that ended up getting scrapped, and we're just going to do honeymoon next year. We'll go through Iceland on the way to Italy for a couple weeks. It'll be a good time.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have the best of time.
Yep.
Another good question by Brad. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I would
Absolutely not.
I don't mind the pineapple, but I will never put on pineapple in Italy. I won't do that to my fellow Italians. But it's a different taste. But it's just I'm a little bit of a rebel there.
Yeah, I'm just like a cooked fruit like unless it's like in a pie, I'm just like not a cooked fruit guy, you know. Cooked fruit is just not good, not all right.
Absolutely.
Like apple pie is about as far as I'll go.
A lot of the Twitch streamers are coming on here. I'm new here. Oh, thanks for stopping on by. But what we're talking about today is the official strongman game. So I was taking a look at the people that you were competing at. So we'll take a quick look at the roster.
Oh yeah,
you're competing against 13 different nations.
It is stacked.
So let's see, Let me get.
I'm extremely excited, and all these World's Strongest Man guys coming in here. I get the chills just looking at this list.
Looking at one, so the 4 World's Strongest Man competitors, you have Oscar Zilkowski, you have John, you have Coco or John Stefan Corbouf. You have Frederick Rieume, who was a finalist at World's Strongest Man,
monster, and
then you have we'll go on the second list. But the other World's Strongest finalist is going to be Spencer Remnick, who's never been off the podium from the 3 times he's done OSG. He's gone 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So the one thing I was thinking is like, as much as I appreciate Spencer coming down and doing OSG and earning his spot, feel like he shouldn't have to do it after.
I feel like he shouldn't have to either. I feel like it should be like, even if you didn't make the finals at Worlds, I feel like you should be on a very short list of returning athletes to pull from. You don't need to go back and re-qualify with like us plebs coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wonder, it'd be interesting. Like, for instance, like if he takes a 3rd, but the guy that takes a 4th is very promising. Do they also take a 4th? Like last year they took 5, but mainly because 42 and I got the European bid. So it'll be very interesting.
42's a freak of nature as well. His pressing is ridiculous. I
know, 210 or 210 kilos or 462 for 2 strict presses.
Unreal.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Big things, and he's playing it smart. He's like, he didn't overcompete after World's Strongest Man. He did the log champs, and then he's resting up his knees and just building for next year. So it would be interesting in what kind of shape he comes in through. But but for you, what event are you looking forward to the most when it comes to the official strongman games?
I'm really excited to show how much improvement I made on the deadlift. Like, this is the first time that like I really feel I definitely am not going to win. Like, there's guys talking about 6-7 reps at 820. I'm not touching that.
Who's that? Who's saying that?
I mean, you got it. Well, Roy Arantia for sure is going to do really good. I know Remnick's going to get a few good reps. Let's just look at this list. I think Bryce Johnson is a freak of nature. He's going to do really, really well on that. Obringer, Buck's going to get a couple good ones, and then obviously the big favorite is Spurgeon. For the deadlift, and Josh Gregory. So just a bunch of monster deadlifters. And I just, man, every single show for the past couple of years has just been like, can I improve on my deadlift placing? Can I get a few more reps than I have in the past? Can I be a little bit more stable, a little bit more explosive, a little bit less hitch, a little bit more power off the ground? And I feel like I've done that. I feel like, especially this past year, I feel like my deadlift has improved quite a bit. So I'm excited to not lose a ton of points on the deadlift, but we'll see.
All right. So if for aiming result, you're looking for top 5, top 10 performance on the deadlift?
Top 10 for sure. Yeah. I think if I can get top 10, I think everything else will be pretty doable. Like, I think I have a pretty good shot of winning the sandbag throw if there's no mistakes.
Nice.
I think I have a pretty good shot of winning the sandbag carry and push if there's no mistakes. And then I think another top 5, top 10-ish finish on the press. And then honestly, like the way that the wrecking ball hold has been feeling in training, I don't know, man. I feel like that's a really good event for me. I don't know. Like, I don't have like some crazy grip, and I've never done super well like a Hercules hold or something, but like
there's no
lock in.
There's no weights yet, right? For
like we've been going. So we've been basing my training off of Austin's prep for Giants Live. For all the listeners who are watching who don't know, I'm Austin Andrade's training partner. And so he got to touch that equipment, or basically similar equipment at Giants Live in Vegas whenever he competed. And based on his training and how that felt in a show for him, we kind of adjusted my training for this show. And we've gone pretty significantly heavier in my training than he did in his training leading up to Giants Live. And it's been pretty easy for me to do, 500-600 pounds and hold it for 30 seconds with no problem. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm really looking forward to that event.
I like with OSG this year. So you're doing the heats. So it looks like you guys are competing around 7 p.m. Both Friday and Saturday,
which favors me too.
You're an evening guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I
like my sleep.
I can't do the mornings.
Yeah.
But however, Sunday is going to be that marathon day where you have 10 competitors at each thing. So you'll be there from start to finish.
But so that's okay because
like that's the day that you have to really
just empty the tank. Yeah, empty the tank and just go for it. Which I feel like kind of suits me. Like if I have a ton of time in between events, I'm good because I can shut down, eat some food, take a little nap, whatever, and then warm back up and stay in that mindset. And then also, like, if it's really condensed, I have that fitness and I have that like my mindset is really conducive to just staying on and just going hard for however many events there is. So both work for me. It's when there's like that awkward amount of time that's inconsistent between events that really throws me off. But I think like a Worlds would suit me, and I also think like a Giants Live would really suit me. So I'm not too intimidated by it. And I think on Sunday as well, like because it's 3 events back to back and there's only 10 people in each class, like it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I can just light up and have a good time and enjoy it and see where we end up.
You got any opinions on any other weight classes or any of the female classes?
I've just been kind of focusing on myself, to be honest. To be fair, I've been busy. Like, yeah, I haven't looked at it too closely, but
the one thing is I'm not disappointed because it was great that the Rogue had the women and they paid out the same as men, but a lot of those women are not doing OSG this year. Yeah. So it sounds like Inez is not doing OSG, and some other top women are not doing OSG. So it's funny that World's Strongest Woman is not the top show for like the first time. And however, like how maybe of course you would do the Arnold Pro and you would still have to do the world, like the last few years, you do the Arnold Pro, you do World's Strongest Woman, but now you don't have World's Strongest Woman anymore. So I hope that you like when I would say what's the phrase I'm looking for? The high tide raises all ships or something.
Yeah.
I'm not a Viking, so
no, that's it. That's it. High tide raises all ships.
All right. So like I hope that like the OSG maybe after this year will maybe make the same thing, make it for the men. So make the women's an open class and they qualify for World's Strongest Woman, and then they have it as some cool spot where there's more prize money and a bigger attraction because they have to kind of step up, or that World's Strongest Woman titles maybe not be as prominent as it has been the years past. So what do you think about that?
I think I think you're totally right, and I think that the Shaw Classic needs to have a full dedicated female pro show. Like they only have the men's, and then they kind of separated the females down with the amateurs, like in the open with us. And I think they deserve it. I think they've been killing it. I mean, the numbers they've been pushing is absolutely insane. Like Inez would be like, she'd be pretty dominant at like a national level strongman male show. Like she's just an absolute freak in nature. And it's been she's a really good friend of mine, and it's been just a pleasure to watch her kind of grow. And we met before I think in like 2021, but we were good friends leading up to OSG in 2022. And I think she took 3rd or something. And she obviously wasn't that happy about it, but to see her go from there to, what she's doing now at the Rogue Invitational and the weights that she's moving and how happy she looks. And I'm just so proud. She's amazing.
Well, I'm hoping big things. So I'm hoping that there's a max log at the Arnold Pro. So maybe she can hit something really big.
I hope so.
And then for you, so kind of circling back to OSG, have you and Josh Spurgeon been talking at all? So for you guys that don't know, Nick won the Arnold Am, beating Josh Spurgeon. Josh Spurgeon is the one that beat him at the Shaw Classic. So you guys, it's the grudge match of the top amateur shows in the world.
Yeah. So this is, we have like a kind of a running joke. He and I are really close buddies, so it's not like toxic at all. But we have a little running joke now where he messed up the sandbag to shoulder event at the Arnold and basically let me win. And then I messed up the sandbag carry event at the Shaw and basically let him win. So this one's our tiebreaker.
Yours is because you threw the sandbag and it went outside the box, outside the tape.
Yep. So and Brian told everybody, like, it was a rule, like if the sandbag touches the tape at all, it's a 5-second penalty. So the first and the cylindrical bag I threw down into the box and it was fine. It didn't move at all. So you'd think that the flat Husafell bag wouldn't roll at all, right? So I'm running, I throw that sucker on top of the other bag and it just somehow bounces on the ground just enough to like tip on its side, and then it rolls over and lands on top of the tape. And, you know, like I knew as I'm running back, I'm like, oh, dang. And so, you know, I ran back, finished the medley, and I would have won by like 3.5 seconds. Like that's how much faster I was in that medley. And I went from taking first in that event to 7th, which basically cost me the win in the end. I lost by Spurgeon by like 3 points or something, but that would have been enough for the win. So I'm trying to redeem that at OSG. Like all of my sandbag carries and training have been set it down nice and gentle right in the box. No rolling.
I feel like it was almost like too strict to be strict, being strict just to be strict, right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point is there taking more strength to set it down or something like that, or is it maybe try to take it? But it doesn't matter. It's just that's in the past, and it's gonna light a fire under the Guardione.
That's right.
Under Fanny,
yeah.
But
I'm not gonna badmouth Shaw. Like that was his rules at his show, and if he wants to be, I'll arm wrestle him down. Yeah.
Good afternoon or good evening, Mr. Greek Goliath.
What's up, brother?
Of course, Mr. Greek is healing up. I hope to see we're gonna get lunch together soon, right, nice. Nico? Yeah. So anything, and then just going back to the OSG. So yeah, it's gonna be a battle. I know you listed off a lot of names. So looking at some of it's funny if you look back at the list. And I brought it over. There's some guys from the UK and there's some guys from England. So it's funny how they made that distinction. They didn't just put everybody as the UK. But if he comes, Rayno Nell from South Africa looks like a beast.
Savage.
Yeah. And then of course there's some other kind of great Americans. You mentioned Bryce Johnson.
Yeah, he's looking insanely strong right now. Have you seen his deadlift videos?
Yes, very strong.
Disgusting.
Of course, if Kitchen decides to go, he's going to be of course a threat.
He's always good. He's always in there. Yep.
He's still wavering after doing SDL.
He's not sure. He's not sure yet.
Yeah, he's still chewing on it.
Oh, I did not know that.
But I'll let him say. Rayno has a bicep injury. All right, so that might.
Is he out for sure?
I imagine maybe. If he has a bicep, I don't know if he's wanted to travel all the way to South Africa to beautiful Madison, Wisconsin in the dead of cold, right? Leaving the whole jungle, not the jungle, but what I'm thinking of, all the lions and tigers and
Savannah.
Yeah, that's right. But of course that was pretty good. Anything last topics in terms before we move on from OSG?
I've been also watching Jack Osborne, his pressing. I think he's going to I think he's going to take the press event. I think he's going to get like 6 or 7 reps. I don't know.
That'll be pretty wild.
He's looking ridiculous.
All right, so let's do this. The 380s your log?
Yep.
And for a minute. Yeah, I would say usually 6 would be really impressive for 1 rep every 10 seconds. So anything over 6 it would be disgusting.
Yeah, I think the world record at 400 is 5 or 6. So if he gets even close to that, that's ridiculous. Like he's one of the best pressers in the world for reps. But I'm hoping for 3 or 4.
All right, at 380, right? You're not going to go to the Trump log. I was kidding.
I do think I think a heavier log for like a Trump of the Trump would be cool too.
Oh, like if you
do like a 420 for reps or something, I feel like that'd be awesome.
Wow, that'd be really cool. Like imagine all that. That's almost like a max. They had a max for the first OG. I was a part of that. I wish they would bring some sort of a max, but I understand with the sheer numbers. But you could have like eight logs out there and have like lines of guys, and then let narrow it down to 1. Could do that.
That'd be freaking sweet though.
It'd just be a lot of equipment. But before we move on, we gotta thank our sponsors with a quick Tsunami Bar ad. So stay tuned.
Are you ready to shake up your training? Are you ready for your next challenge? Tsunami Bar Sports is here to boost your power, stability, and coordination. Whether you're superloading and using it to target barbell-centric movements or using it for ballistic weighted plyometrics for more sport-specific purposes, the Tsunami Bar has you covered. Our patented and flexible barbell technology is designed to help you improve in all things human performance. Discover the difference at Tsunami Bar Sports today. Visit tsunamisports.com to learn more. Use CANBY10 for 10% off of any Tsunami Bar product, or pause the screen and use the QR code. Now back to the show. Have you tried Richie's Tsunami Bar yet?
I have, dude. It's really nice.
What do you think?
Really nice.
Have you been using it as like an assistant workout?
Yeah, we use it a lot for the like we just do strict presses out of the rack with them and just kind of let it wobble and try and overcome all that and really build all those stabilizers. But we haven't done any of those crazy like jammer presses or anything like that. That looks wild.
Cool.
We do some squats.
You guys are gonna get very strong. But we were talking a little bit earlier. You love the big old log and all, especially Vipers. And I just had Alex Soak up on. We talked a little bit about like what takes to be a good Viper press. But like in your opinion, what are like the key fundamentals when it comes to Viper pressing?
Just aggression. Like if you clean it, like if you pick it up off the floor fast, you can build the momentum. Just be aggressive from the start. And kind of a change of gears too. Like also huge shout out to Alec because he took some time whenever I hit him up in the comments of one of his posts recently to do a stone sleeve tutorial because Austin and I've been having some troubles whenever it gets cold out with some tacky issues. So he took some time out of his day and made a little video for us. So huge shout out to Alec as well.
What were the big takeaways from that?
So clean your arms, obviously soap and water, alcohol, clean them up, and then spray tacky before you put the sleeves on.
So spray tacky as in just like from the can?
Yeah, like the little spritz can. Bottle.
Yeah. All right.
And we don't have actual sleeves, but I've been doing it with tape, and I've been kind of combining like Lucas Hatton's recommendations with the tape and the way the pattern that he lays it down with Alex, and it worked pretty well. We did a stone session last night and it was phenomenal. So shout out to those boys.
Does Lucas use the same tape that some of the MST guys use? It's like a zinc tape, which is
I think so. It's just like a cloth athletic tape.
Okay, all right. Because I've been seeing that more often, and it looks like it's supposed to be a little drier, so hopefully avoid some of the sweat. But but that's a good point in terms of cold weather, warm weather, sleeves versus no sleeves. I'm still going no sleeves for a while, but I'm thinking of switching that up once my bicep is ready to go. But back to vipering. So Sorry. In your opinion, so you talk about aggression, but what else makes it good? Like, is there any good assistance workouts you can get better at vipering?
I think just like a really high thoracic extension incline press, like with the log or with barbell or Tsunami Bar. I think those would help a lot just because you do need that strict power once that momentum kind of runs out to finish. But I think mostly it's just like being really purposeful, like when you're doing like sandbag extensions or front squats or anything, just being really aggressive with the power generation from the hips to develop that sort of mind muscle connection for when that log is there, you can fire off from the lap without having to like worry about that specific movement. Like when you're thinking about that all the time and all your accessory movements, that it just naturally progresses over to the log. So
all right, interesting. I really like that. I've been kind of blasting this more kind of strict volume. I used to never do strict press and not bring my head through, but I've been doing that more as an assistance exercises after real strict presses where I bring my head through. So when I went to, like, for instance, MST's or Shane Reese's seminar, he talked about that was just a tool to use for more volume and just go and be able to go heavier, just not keeping your head back. So I've been treating it as more of an accessory, but not how I would do it in a competition or for my set. So that's been like blasting my triceps and shoulders. So I want to try a 180 strict press. What's your best log strict press?
I did 365 right before the Shaw.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I ended up doing I don't know, whatever the weight was for the Shaw, 320 or 325 or something like that. I ended up doing basically 8 reps, all Viper at the Shaw. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I really enjoyed it. It got me moist. I'm allowed to say that online.
I hate that word so much.
Since we both love Vipers.
Yeah.
So is John Cotton? No, sorry, Tyler Cotton. Is he the best Viper? Does he have the heaviest Viper in like known to the Open?
He did what, 420, 415?
He's done 200 kilos before. I think at the Clash on the coast, the first year. So they had the 105 contest, but they had the men's Open log championship. And I think what he did was Viper the 200 kilos. He kind of does like a weird Viper, but maybe does like a little bit, adds like a power jerk into it. Like when he's floating in the air, he like finishes in like a power jerk, but I'm pretty sure he did 200 kilos. And then he threw it down too fast. So he had to do it again and then hit 200 kilos again. So he didn't get the next jump, but I want to say 200 kilos is the most. What I think Lucas has hit.
I didn't know that.
I think
That's
Lucas
crazy.
has hit 180 pound or 180 kilopound Viper. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
And then Mateusz Kieliszkowski, I think he's done 170 for 3.
Yeah.
I think he did that. It was the Arnold Santa Monica, which
that was the. Oh, you may be right because he did a 3. I think it was a 365 for 3 after the yoke at the Rogue.
Yes, but I want to say that Arnold Santa Monica was either 374 or 385, and he vipered like the first 3.
Yeah, he's incredible. I hope he comes back, man. I hope he gets over his little injury spurt and comes back because he's one of those guys where I'd love to compete with him before he kind of fades away.
He's doing the MBM. He's doing the Magnus Classic.
I know.
So I think that's a good sign as long as he can complete it and not get banged up. But I think I don't know. It seems like you see Trey come back from his Achilles and he came back stronger than ever. So you have guys like Mateusz, guys like Adam Bishop. I think they're just going to be fine. They're seasoned competitors. They know how to deal with injuries.
Yeah.
It's funny. They both
Luke Richardson too, which you just had on.
Did Lucas? I don't think he had Achilles. Did he?
No, not Achilles, but he's torn fucking one of everything.
Everyone, yeah. Oh, but he is. That was. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, it's really good.
That was good. That was very motivating. But like, those are the guys, of course, to hear those stories, especially like when you're dealing with your own injuries.
Yeah.
And I've even said that in the past about like Brian Shaw, because he talked a lot about his injuries between his first and second World's Strongest Man title, and even like Martins has talked about it. So it does, even though it's lame to talk about injuries, it does help other people.
Yeah, and I think especially for us, like in the sport, it kind of just gives you hope that like even if that does happen, you can come back and it's kind of reassuring. And I've been really, really blessed that I haven't had anything crazy happen like within the sport. But, you never want to see that for anybody, and you never want to go through that. So it's good to know that if you're smart and you go about it the right way, that you can come back from anything. And our boy Nico is a huge part of that as well. He's been through the ringer in his own way.
Yes.
So
he's got to come back, but I'm going to go see him soon. And I'm going to rub some dirt on his shoulder.
That's right. Hell yeah.
Anyway, I knocked on some wood for you. I'm big. So
I did as well. My desk is wood.
All right. Superstitious, but
I am a little bit. Yeah.
So it's interesting because I love watching you and Austin train together, and it looks like you guys do a lot of the same training, but you guys seem to be kind of opposites in terms of skill sets. Of course, you're moving athletics. He's very static and has his strengths. But for the most part, like when it comes to movement events and when it comes to those items, what do you attribute your kind of moving event skill set or your or let's just say medleys or what have you, the more the athletic events, what do you attribute that to? Is it you think that's more kind of conditioning? Is it more from your past athletic history? Of course, I listened to a lot of it on Ken. What's how you say Ken Nowicki's last name? I always say Nowicki.
Nowitzki.
I'm still gonna say Nowicki, but
yeah. Dude, I tried. I was like there's like a 10-minute long thing in his house. I'm like Nowitzki. Like I couldn't figure it out. And I still probably didn't pronounce it right.
No, sorry, Ken, if you're listening.
Sorry, Ken.
But yeah, what do you attribute to some of that? But I remember you talked a long about. So if you guys haven't watched that, you guys should watch it. He talks about your early days in competing in sports. But what do you think your athleticism is gifted to in the sport of strongman?
Yeah, and I think it's and go check out the Cerberus podcast. I really, really enjoyed doing that podcast. We get to talk about mindset and like a lot of things that I really enjoy. But I think if you because I don't know 100% for sure why I'm like fast or whatever. But I think if you kind of look at Austin and I's backgrounds and kind of like compare and contrast because we were both in sports going through high school. But he did football, he did wrestling. So even though that's very athletic, you kind of have to, you know, be in your spot, and you got to be kind of stalwart, and you got to kind of, you know, develop that static stability and strength. And that was his whole focus going through, you know, his early years, is to develop that static strength to be able to move weight and people around. And my athletic background is running, climbing, and then just kind of like, you know, I did parkour, like none of the flips and stuff, but like I was climbing on buildings and jumping off 2-story buildings and rolling and, you know, vaulting and, you know, that kind of stuff. And that was a lot of fun.
Did you do that at your current body weight?
Absolutely not. I would die. No, absolutely not. But it was a lot of fun, man. Like
how many pounds ago was that?
Probably like 200 pounds.
200 pounds ago. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was probably 160 pounds when I was doing that at my height. So I was like skinny.
I think you're the first parkour on my
show. Well, so it stemmed from doing cross country. Like I was throughout middle school and high school, I did cross country, just distance running. And I just kind of got bored, you know, and I would have my music playing, I'd be running, and I'd be like, you know, I don't really want to be doing, like, I want to be doing this, but I don't, like, I'm just getting bored of just going straight forward. And so then I would, like, you know, jump over a park bench, you know, and then jump over the park bench head first and land and roll. And then I would, you know, jump over the park bench and kind of vault over it to the side or whatever. And then I started like climbing walls. And then like my school was just outside of my neighborhood. So I would go to my school and just kind of, like, it was kind of terraced up to like 6 stories. So like you could jump up on an awning and then go up on the roof, and then on the next set of roof, and then on the next set of roof, and then climb up ladders. And then you go onto this big ornate, you know, top piece that they had up there, and you could just sit up there and listen to music and look at the stars and look at the city. And, you know, it was very just like kind of scenic and you kind of meditative in its own way. And so that kind of got me to fall in love with, I hate using the word parkour because it wasn't really that. It was just me kind of like climbing on shit, you know, in the middle of my runs. And, you know, so I would, you know, jump off of 2 stories, land on the grass, roll, keep running for a couple miles, and then find something else that would look cool to climb on, and then just climb up it and see how high I could get without dying. And then, you know, go up there and enjoy the sights and listen to my music.
So you were a solo parkourer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because anytime someone says parkour, you think of like doing a backflip off of a, you know, whatever, or a fence, or, you know, going up. And I never did any of that stuff, but like I could jump up on the top of my, you know, 5-story school, sit right on the edge, listen to music, and just kind of hang out and vibe out. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I want to add, so it's interesting because you talked about having that cross country background. How long did you do cross country for?
I think 5 years. And, our team wasn't that great. Like we never made it to nationals or anything, but we did pretty good. Like we went to regionals, and it was okay. It was mostly just, I enjoyed hanging out with my friends, and I enjoyed kind of running and doing something to get better. And honestly, like I saw all the football guys like in the weight room, and I was like, those guys are losers. Like, what? Who lifts weights? Like that sucks.
Like,
you lifting weights? I know. I could go run 5 miles in the 110-degree heat, 100% humidity.
So you've done a little bit of a 180.
A little bit, yeah.
There's we're getting a lot of questions, but the last thing I want to mention is that you're the third person that has done long distance running and has become a really great strongman. So the other 2 would be Hooper and Andrew Clayton. So it's pretty interesting that the other side of strength is that extreme endurance. So I'm starting to figure it out. Maybe there's a little bit of a piece there. Maybe that's a missing item. I always say that there's a lot of great wrestlers in the background. We just mentioned Austin, and you can go. I can tell you, I have a list of like 6 or 7 other guys that have been great high school or collegiate wrestlers. So,
and I don't know if it's exactly like the movement of cross country, but like to be able to run for 2 hours when it literally is the most excruciating pain, and just continue to run. So that does something to your psyche, does something to develop a mindset. You know what I mean? So I don't think necessarily like the skill of just running for 2 hours is necessarily important, but like the ability to withstand that pain for hours and hours and make it enjoyable and push through. I feel like that just kind of develops the character required to become someone who can continue to do that in a different setting, which in this case is strongman.
Absolutely.
Hey, Josh, what's up, buddy?
I know we got. Let's go. Let's go through the questions really quickly. I got to start with with Brad over here.
Okay.
If you would arm wrestle, who would win? I'm going to say Nick. Nick has the levers, and I think his biceps are a bit better than mine right now. So back. And Brad, thank you for the super chat. Bambi, did you ever beat Elden Ring? Oh, no, I haven't even started the DLC.
Bro, it's so good. Come on.
Once I got help, so I was playing Elden Ring all during the bicep recovery, and then once I started being able to train again and everything, I've
played Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, is that the Monkey King game?
Yes, dude, it's so good.
That's the same people that make Elden Ring too, right?
No. This is like a Chinese developer.
Oh, interesting. But
it's amazing. It's a fantastic game.
Hey, Brad, do I need to share this with Guardione, or can I keep it myself?
What is this?
You gave me £5, so
you can keep it,
$7.
That's right. Buy me a beer next time.
Yes, Dark Horse. How long?
Since you didn't at Giants Live.
We were supposed to shotgun beers before, and I screwed up. I
ruined it.
I went to a convenience store to buy booze, and I forgot my ID, and the beard wasn't enough for them. Being a 35 grown ass man wasn't enough for them. How long did it take you guys to get to OSG pro level? Is 4 years a realistic time frame, or would it take longer depending? So as long as you stay healthy, it took me 3 years to win my pro card. How long did it take you to win your pro card?
It took me 3 years to win my pro card too, yeah.
And then I did.
But I was at OSG before I got my pro card.
All right, interesting. So how long until you got to OSG?
2 years, but I had been I hadn't done any strongman training because I started at January 1st of 2020, and then I was at OSG in December of 2022. But I had for 5 years before that, I had been in the gym kind of lifting weights. I had maybe a 500-pound deadlift or something before I found heavy metal. But if you're dedicated and you're putting the time in and you're being smart, you can definitely 2 years is a lot of time to make progress, especially with those noob gains. Proper nutrition, proper diet, proper sleep, proper training. You can make a ton of progress in 2 years, man.
All right. So yeah, I would say so between right here, you have 2 to 4 years. I did my first OSG in 2016, so that was the 4-year mark. I qualified, but when I did it, it was I was going against the top 2 105s at the time, and Rob Kearney and Sean DeMarinis. So it was pretty tough to get into OSG. But I would say 2 to 4 years to make it to that.
I
OSG.
barely squeaked in for mine.
Squeak.
Yeah, I did. So I did the online qualifier in 2022, and I think I ended up in 12th or 11th or something in the online qualifier. So I didn't make it in. But what happened was a couple of the guys before me, I guess, didn't read the instructions. So they didn't weigh their weights or do something right in their videos. And so they got disqualified. And so I ended up getting in on kind of count back. And so I was the whole time I was joking that I made it into OSG because other guys can't read.
That's reading's half the battle.
Yeah.
And Josh mentioned, I think it's a good point. I think it depends on where you are currently performing wise. I did powerlifting first and transition. Absolutely. If you're a high level powerlifter, like our boy Nico the Greek Goliath, he did the same thing, was IPF champion and then moved on over. Should we remove back toss from OSG? Nick? Which Nick are you talking about? One Nick likes something, one Nick doesn't. So which Nick are you referring to, Mr. Josh?
No, we should not. We should keep it in. I gotta make up points on you somewhere, Josh.
I would they have had a lot of sandbag in the last 4 years. It's
it's so good. It's a really good way to test explosive strength. That's great.
It's just really light. It's really light. Nico says I second removing back toss squat instead.
Oh my god,
that
bunch of pansies.
Josh likes that Trump squat. And then of course Brad wants
Let's just deadlift for 6 events in a row, Josh.
Are you a big gamer?
I am, yeah. You should see the setup on. I got a screen here, screen here, screen here.
Oh,
I got it all. My computer's all RGB'd up. Got the RGB mic, dude. I'm
holy moly!
I'm a freaking gamer, dude.
Do you stream your gaming?
No. I just have a bunch of friends online that I met in college that we all game together.
What games are you playing right now?
Right now, we've been playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and we'll just be doing like Dragon Ball tournaments. It's a lot of fun. But our go-to games are Rocket League and Counter-Strike.
All right, interesting. I'm big into Helldivers, so yes.
Helldivers was great for the first month.
Back on there, Brad. So, but it looks like you've impressed Brad. So, very happy.
I made a new friend. Yay!
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about. So of course, being the Arnold Amateur Champion, of course, grant you the course access to the Arnold Pro the year after. How's any word so far?
Nope.
No.
And I mean, the word is that I probably won't be there.
Okay.
I am hoping I will be there.
Do you think like Oscar Zukowski ruined it for you?
That's just what I've heard from other people. I haven't like, I had a conversation with Jan Todd and she didn't say like, yes, Oscar Zukowski shit in the bed on his Arnold Classic was the reason why I'm not going to be invited, but the timing just kind of lines up. I just think that they, like Dion and Strongman Corp, kind of burned too many bridges and kind of shut that down. And Lynn was trying to get me back in, and he was fighting for me before he stepped back from Strongman Corp. So I mean, we'll see, man. He said it was a 50-50 toss up on whether I'll be going to the Classic. So I'm going to be training for it. I'm going to be ready just in case. And if they need me as an alternate, or if they send me to the Arnold UKs, I'll be happy either way.
All right, that would be a good consolation. But
yeah,
of course, I'll talk to James, and hopefully James can push you through.
I would love that.
And it's interesting, Jog, playing a lot of Rocket League. Maybe you guys can have a
dude. That would be fun. Let's go.
Match in Rocket League.
Let's go.
I've never played, but looks pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You'll know me soon enough, Brad. I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to get through a podcast here, and you're chiming in a lot. Any big off seasons plans after OSG?
No. I mean, I don't think I'll really get one, because if I go straight into prep for the Arnold, there's not going to be much time, and then depending on what happens at OSG, prep for Worlds right after that. So we'll. I think this next year, if everything goes right, it'll be a busy year, and we'll get to rest at the end of next year, but I think now's the time to push. Josh and I are in a very similar spot where, this is the time, like our name is out there. People have their eyes on us. We have to win these shows. We have to do good. We have to concrete our name into the pool of up and coming athletes that need to have a shot. And it's not the time for an off season. It's the time to get to work, and compete. So.
All right, excellent.
We'll cross that bridge when we come there.
All right, so if you're gonna have a very busy off season, what, like, do you have any like kind of goals? Like, is there, like, for instance, do you want to go for like a heavy barbell push press? Like, I don't know if you saw like Lucas's 440 for 5 off the blocks, but
crazy.
Like, now I want to do that. And like I'm in that off season where I can kind of fuck around and potentially.
Yeah.
I have my own log right now, so yeah. So I might try. I think I could get 3. We'll see. I think 4 or 5 would be tough, but I feel like that. Like, he did put out a number, and he did say no one else can match. Like, I don't think anybody can match me. And I'm like, all right, game on.
That would be crazy. How much are you weighing right now?
308.
Ooh, we getting there, bro.
About 24 months removed from.
Nice.
No, sorry, I am 25 months removed from my last weight cut. So it's 77 pounds later. Yeah, feeling pretty juicy.
That's crazy.
But it does feel pretty good. What do you like, for instance, like in the off season, what do you go for? Like, what do you like? Do you have any like deadlift goals?
I mean, end game, I would love to deadlift 1,000 pounds, 100% for sure. I just want to, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really have, the only goal is to just get better right now. Like, I don't want to say I don't care about winning shows, but my goal is to just improve. Like, I just want to see how far I can get. I want to see how good I can be. I want to extract as much of this potential that I have within myself as I possibly can, and just kind of take it as far as I can go. Like, I'm just having fun and enjoying the ride, man. And if you stress too much about the end game and the those crazy numbers, like, I feel like the process gets lost, and I'm just like, it's fun, like hanging out with Josh, hanging out with Austin when I'm training every day, going and seeing all my buddies at competitions, and it's just amazing, man. I'm really, really blessed to be doing this shit.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear it, but of course I'm excited for big things. So of course, see some comments, but we're almost at the comment. We're going to go through all the questions. So I think we got through most of them, but if you guys have any more questions for Nicholas Guardione, put them in there. But Nick, what grinds your gears? What gets you, but in the world of lifting or Instagram lifting culture, is there anything that kind of ticks you off a little bit that maybe you see young kids doing that you're like, hey man, don't do that. That's not cool. That's not gonna get you anywhere. That grinds my gears.
Yeah, I've got one ready to go. And this might call out of a lot of my fellow strongman guys out right now. But like, I just don't see the point in like hiding your weights on like your Instagram posts. Like you're like, like you deadlift, but you zoom in just enough to where you can't see the end weights. And you're like, yeah, I'm coming to the show hot. You know, I'm the PR, but I'm not going to tell you the weights, or like, I got a lot of reps, but I'm going to stop the video at 2, like people, like no one's going to magically get stronger in the next 3 weeks to beat your 3 reps. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see, I don't see how that makes sense. Yeah, Josh, I'm talking about you. No, but like there's others. There's others. And it's like, it's just something where it's just like, you're going to do what you can do on game day. Knowing that Josh is going to get 7 reps on deadlift is not going to get me to do 8 reps on deadlift. Like I'm still going to get 3, So it's just like, it's just one of those things where like, I can see both sides, but whenever I see it, I'm just like, come on guys. Like it's like, y'all taking this way too serious.
I can understand. I've said it in the past, even because it is 80 episodes. I've done a lot of grind my gears. Yeah. So I've said in the past when athletes don't post their weights, it's because I'm like, I'm seeing you do this, but I have no indication of if this is good weight for you, like good, if this is good for your weight class, not good for your weight class. So like it makes my algorithm in my head go spin, because I'm trying to figure out if like he's moving well, but is this heavy or not heavy? So
and like day of, it doesn't matter, because you're going to do the best you can. I'm going to do the best I can. Like I might make mistakes. You might make mistakes. And like, just the cards are going to fall where they fall. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. Greek Goliath wants to know, how is Nick adjusting to the suit?
Deadlift suit. Whoo, baby. I'm loving it.
Which one are you using right now?
I'm using the Cerberus deadlift suit, and it is very nice. So at first when I got it, it didn't fit basically at all.
Yes. You had Bear work on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So whenever I went up to do the Cerberus podcast and shoot some content with them, got this guy Bear out, and he does much powerlifting stuff, and he's a suited guy, so he helped me kind of tailor it in, and it was super simple. We just flipped the suit inside out and ran some stitches like up the sides where it was loose until it fit perfectly. So just like little tiny increments at a time, stitch, running up my sides until it fit. And as I get bigger, I can take out a line of stitches, and it's so I can just I can expand into it still. So I don't have to buy a new suit.
Interesting.
And as soon as he fit it, and as soon as it got tight on my legs and hips, it was like a whole new ball game. Like I could breathe going down to the bar. I got a ton of pop off the ground. My lockout was flying. Like it just as soon as it actually like hugged your legs and hips, it just clicked. And
it didn't hurt your nuts too bad?
It's horrible. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, it's still stuff on the nuts?
Yeah. You just gotta flop it all to one side and try and get the gooch of the suit to not split it in half.
I can understand that. Foreshadowing: Guardione is going to get bigger. Remove the pitching. That'll be my guess too.
Josh, I've actually been losing weight, dude. This is not good.
How much? Eating? Where you at?
I'm at like 3:30 in the morning. I'll kind of end the day at like a 3:35. But man, Nathan Payton's been having me eat clean a lot. But
we're
it's
20
clean.
pounds away. We're 20 pounds away from each other.
Yeah, man.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Thickles is cure.
That's right, dude. But like I feel like I'm leaner than I've ever been. Yeah.
Yes, 330 is very skinny, Josh.
Yeah.
I would say. What's the heaviest you ever been?
I was 350 for a day.
All right.
Like the first week when I started on Nathan Payton, he had me basically triple my calories and protein intake. And my body was just like, what the hell is happening? So I don't think I shit for like 3 days, and my body weight went up to 350 for a day, and then it went right back down 340, and then slowly losing weight 335, and then now we're back to 330 in the morning. So, but it's coming up. I got all the way down to 325 for a few weeks in prep, and then like every week it's like adding like a quarter pound, half a pound to my body weight. So there's like it's good, and I feel great. Like I feel like my cardio is the best it's ever been. I feel mobile. I feel healthy. I feel like my sleep is good. So we're doing some things.
You have abs?
I don't think so.
No, but
too hairy either way.
All right,
too hairy.
Too close. Yes, us Italians. we're very hairy. We kind of touched upon it, but kind of wrapping up on the questions, when everything is said and done, what are you looking to accomplish in the sport of strongman?
I want to be the best, man. I want to be the best. And I think like my goal is to just not leave any of my potential on the table. I want to extract, 100% of what I'm capable of. And I think that like, if I do all the right things, if I take all the right actions, if I'm being as smart as I can be and listening to the right people, I think I can do that. And I think if I do that, I can go down as one of the greats. So
awesome. Well, I'm very, very excited for you. You're 30 years old?
29. I'll be 30 in 4 months.
So easily could have 10 more years in
We'll
there.
see.
I would say, of course, look up to some of the guys like Ronald Hanlon that are still competing at 42, and especially at a high level, being like a Europes and Worlds and competing at the Giants Live Deadlift Championship. So again, I don't know if we're gonna be the next Mark Felixes over here. But I would say at least get into the 40s would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing.
That'll be really.
I've always been kind of a late bloomer. When I was when I was a kid, it just I had my height spurts, my growth spurts later on than everybody. A lot of my maturing that I did was much later than most people. So I'm like, I feel like spiritually, I'm like 16 years old right now, and we'll see if my body can hold on to that.
Awesome. Well, I love to hear it. So we're wrapping up. That's most of my questions today.
Okay.
I forgot. Did you have some questions for me? Anything on the list that's worthwhile? Hopefully, nothing not too controversial.
Oh, then no, I don't.
No, nothing.
No, just kidding. I mean, so here's the deal. You and I, we're the Italian boys, right?
Yes.
We need to settle this once and for all. And I need Colin Bryce to be my best friend. Okay. So we need to have an Italian off of some kind.
Sounds naughty.
Or I propose some sort of pizza cooking competition.
All right.
Next time we're in the same location.
All right. So this time I won't forget the ingredients. But yeah.
Or the beer.
Absolutely. Or just first, I think just who can make it through a 8-course Italian. Let's next time you're in the area, let's come to Boston. We'll go to the North End.
Okay.
And we'll sit down for a 7-course meal. What do you think about that?
Perfect.
Right.
Or we could do like weighted hand things for like who could do the most reps with like a 100-pound dumbbell in their hand like this.
I like it.
Something like that.
Ooh, interesting. Very cool. But it's funny. We talk about like future plans. So I wanna one day get to a point where we're I get all the Italian Americans. So of course myself, yourself. We could get Blanzano out of Connecticut. We got a Limo. He's kind of like a big 231. So I think he'll go fit. And then like that's us four. And then we go compete in Italy versus like Invernizzi, Castelli, Aquaviva, and Greco. Those are like the top four.
That would be
mainland Italians.
That would be awesome.
So like have a Italian another Italian off, right?
That's right. The emigrators versus will be team emigration versus versus the mainlanders.
Maybe we're team Italian colonialism. We're trying to colonize America for the Italians. So if anything, we're the new Christopher Columbus.
I love that. Let's do it.
Yes. All right. We got a lot of good plans going. So let's chime into Mr. Nico. Nico, as someone who is 38 and has been in strength sport for 25 years, it's not the destination of the journey, it's the company along the way. I'm very happy to call both of you guys friends.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you, Nico. You're the man.
Agreed.
How's your YouTube channel going? How's the Texas Boy channel going?
We got 101 subscribers. Okay. If anybody wants to go here, I'll post here.
Put in the comment. I'm gonna have it in the description below. So for anybody that's watching the recording, I'm also gonna have your Instagram on there. Any other social medias that we need to cover? That's
it. Yeah. So I just put Texas Boys in the chat of the live stream. So if you guys want to go shoot us a subscribe, that would be great. We just been kind of putting random stuff on there, but we're trying to take it a little bit more serious and do these like mini podcasts where we just kind of talk about like a relevant topic every couple weeks and put some content out there. We got like a Atlas Stone making video that's pretty funny that we're going to posting pretty soon. And that's it. Yeah, we're just our brand of humor and like what we got going on in the gym. It's fun.
Awesome. But you mentioned you don't have any other social medias. Are you on TikTok or Twitch? Because Brad would like Twitch if you're on Twitch.
No, I'm not. I don't have any of that.
Not yet, Brad. So soon.
Sorry, bro.
So looking forward. So next week I have James Jeffers coming on. So
Awesome.
in the Canadian perspective on the show. I want to thank all my members and thank you guys for signing up. We had to pay a special tribute to the greatest of all time, Mr. Zadrunas Savickas. So thank you for your service. If you guys haven't already, the Canby shirts came out today.
They look sick. They look freaking sweet.
Can you fit into a 3XL?
I can, yeah.
All right.
I'm 330, dude, of course.
All right. I'll get you one.
Yes.
But they're all coming through. Michael Connor was very strong and handsome for the show.
I love it.
And then
and Kitchen's video with the horse and the flag is like every time I see that I just smile. It's so good.
Oh man, that it's funny. I had him shoot a bunch of footage and I'm like, I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. So
it's so funny. I love it.
Creative planning. And then guys on my end, if you're interested in coaching or press coaching, just starting to ramp that up. I have a few clients now, so get to it. And then let's leave the listeners with one more piece of advice. So what is one piece of advice you want to leave the listeners to finish off the show?
Punch up. Compete at shows that scare you. So like my entire career, every single show that I've done has been against people. Shut up, Austin. Why are you ruining my moment? But my entire journey has been competing against guys that scare the shit out of me. So like weights that are way out of my league, competitors that are way better than me. And you sign up for these shows and you go into these preps and you just slowly start to believe and you slowly, chip away at the work. And, once you get there, you hit a PR and it's just that kind of motivation of going against people who, that you have to give 100% to even be close to beating. That just brings out the best in you and you're going to grow so fast. And, it's not a bad thing to have a great training partner like Austin and, fifth strongest man on earth and surround yourself with people that inspire you and challenge you and, keep growing stronger together. It's all about community.
That is great words of advice, but I wanted to end it there. But Austin, why do you have to chime in right at the end?
Right at the end, dude. Classic.
Can you deadlift more than 950? He will. He will, and he'll tire deadlift, and he loves you. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong. Thanks for tuning in, Austin.